Ladies and gentlemen, gather round, because we've got a captivating tale to spin about none other than the former Commander-in-Chief, Donald J. Trump. You know, the man whose name alone can stir up a whirlwind of emotions, opinions, and debates. Now let's take a step into the first chapter of our saga, Hush Money Payment and 2016 Election Charges. Imagine a tale of intrigue, involving a hush money payment to an adult film star, Stormy Daniels. Trump's former lawyer, Michael Cohen, shelled out a cool $130,000 to silence Miss Daniels and her alleged tale of an extramarital affair. Prosecutors claim that Trump orchestrated an intricate dance of accounting trickery to reimburse Cohen, disguising it all as legitimate legal business expenses via the Trump Organization. In August 2018, Cohen melodiously pleaded guilty to a medley of federal charges: bank fraud, tax fraud, and campaign finance violations. Cohen's narrative spun a web of intrigue, asserting that Trump himself orchestrated the payment to Stormy Daniels. In the summer of 2021, the Trump Organization and its longtime chief financial officer, Alan Weisselberg, were indicted on tax fraud charges, and in August 2022, Weisselberg pleaded guilty to 15 charges, and he agreed to testify against the Trump Organization as part of his deal with prosecutors. December in the year 2022, as the final act unfurled with a verdict of guilty, the Trump Organization found culpable on all counts of criminal tax fraud, with the story continuing into 2023, as the Office of Manhattan's District Attorney, the esteemed Alvin Bragg, unveiling evidence before a grand jury resulting in a grand indictment against Trump of 34 felony charges of falsifying business records. Trump stood resolute, pleading not guilty to every count. On March 25, 2024, the trial shall commence. Oh, but there's more. The classified documents case, a separate endeavor where Trump faces accusations of playing around with classified national security documents. It's like a game of secret spy intrigue, only this time it's real. The charges pile up, 37 felonies to be precise. Trump, in his grandeur, allegedly held on to sensitive documents like a collector's edition action figure. They say the past always comes back to haunt you. In the weeks before he left the White House in January 2021, Trump and his aides allegedly packed up hundreds of classified documents with his personal belongings and transported those documents to his Mar-a-Lago resort in Florida. Federal officials repeatedly tried to recover the classified materials, but prosecutors say Trump intentionally withheld dozens of documents from investigators and misled them as they attempted to locate the missing files. In August 2022, a federal judge issued a search warrant for Mar-a-Lago, Trump's famed haven, with the agents of the Federal Bureau of Investigation retrieved more than 100 classified documents. In November 2022, shortly after Trump announced his re-election campaign, the Attorney General, Merrick Garland, appointed Jack Smith as special counsel to oversee both the documents case and the federal investigation into Trump's efforts to overturn the results of the 2020 election. In June, Smith indicted Trump on 37 federal counts, including 31 violations of the Espionage Act. Trump pleaded not guilty to all charges and was released on bail. In July, Trump's valet and co-defendant in the documents case, Walt Nauta, pleaded not guilty to 5 criminal charges. In late July, Smith filed a superseding indictment that expanded the scope of the charges against Trump and added another co-defendant to the case, the Mar-a-Lago club maintenance worker Carlos de Oliveira. According to the updated indictment, Trump, Nauta, and de Oliveira engaged in a scheme to delete Mar-a-Lago security footage showing boxes of classified documents being moved from a storage room. Judge Aileen Cannon set a trial start date of May 20th, 2024. Ah, but there's an elephant in the room, my friends. 2020 election interference charges. Brace yourselves, for we're entering the realm of the Capitol Riot, where Trump allegedly whispered words of dissent, creating a maelstrom that echoed across the nation. Special counsel Jack Smith steps onto the stage, charging Trump with conspiracy, obstruction, aiding and abetting, and more. A courtroom waltz of political upheaval, indeed. On the 6th of January 2021, a group of Trump supporters staged a violent attack on the U.S. Capitol in an effort to disrupt the congressional certification of Joe Biden's victory in the 2020 election. A bipartisan Senate report later concluded that 7 people died in connection to the insurrection. The House impeached Trump for inciting the insurrection, but the former president was acquitted by the Senate. He now faces criminal charges over his role in the attack. In June 2021, the House of Representatives voted to create a select committee to investigate the causes and consequences of the January 6th attack, and in December 2022, the House Select Committee voted unanimously to refer Trump to the Department of Justice for potential criminal charges over his role in the attack. On August 3, 2023, Trump was arrested and arraigned in Washington. He pleaded not guilty to all 4 felony counts, and the next hearing in the case is scheduled for August 28th. Trump has characterized these charges as a criminalization of political speech, claiming that they are an attempt to make it illegal to question the results of the election. He has repeatedly promoted election conspiracy theories and refused to accept the outcome of the 2020 election. Now let's talk about Georgia, a state with its own Trumpian tale. Our protagonist, with a flair for the dramatic, is said to have whispered cryptic words to Brad Raffensperger, the Georgia Secretary of State, urging him to find those elusive votes. Ah, the power of persuasion. Prosecutor Fani Willis takes center stage, and we're left waiting to see if charges will be dealt like cards in a high-stakes game. In April 2023, Willis said she expected to announce charging decisions this summer. In May, a court filing showed that half of the so-called fake electors who sought to declare Trump the winner of Georgia had accepted immunity deals from prosecutors. But that's not all, my curious companions. We have the E. Jean Carroll lawsuits in New York, a saga spun around allegations of a fateful encounter in a department store back in 1996. Carroll, a writer with her own story to tell, claims Trump assaulted her. In June 2019, Carroll published an excerpt of her memoir, in which she accused Trump of sexually assaulting her in a dressing room at the Bergdorf Goodman department store in Manhattan. Trump quickly issued a statement denying the accusation, claiming he had never met Carroll. In November 2019, Carroll filed a defamation lawsuit against Trump, accusing him of having smeared her integrity, honesty, and dignity. In November 2022, on the same day that the Adult Survivors Act went into effect in New York, Carroll filed a second lawsuit against Trump, accusing him of defamation and sexual battery. The Adult Survivors Act gave victims of sexual violence over the age of 18 a 1-year window to file civil lawsuits against their alleged abusers, despite the statute of limitations. In March, a judge denied Carroll's request to consolidate the 2 lawsuits into one. Instead, the first lawsuit was put on pause as the second lawsuit moved forward. In April, the trial for Carroll's second lawsuit began. Carroll testified to the New York jury that Trump forcibly pulled down her tights in the department store dressing room, and the experience left her unable to explore romantic relationships. She also claimed that she was fired from her job as an advice columnist for Ella magazine, where she worked for 26 years, because of Trump's defamatory comments. In May 2022, the jury found Trump liable for sexual abuse and defamation, although the former president was not found liable for rape. The jury awarded Carroll about $5M in damages, but because it was a civil case, Trump did not face criminal charges in connection to the judgment. Trump has filed an appeal in the case. A trial date for the original defamation lawsuit, in which Carroll is seeking damages of $10M, has been set for January 2024. It's a story of accusations, trials, and courtroom drama that would put Shakespeare to shame. But as the sun sets on this tale, remember this is just a snippet of the roller coaster that is Trump's legal entanglements. Will he rise like a phoenix or be forever shackled by the weight of legal proceedings? Only time will tell, dear viewers. And so we reach the end of this tale like a gripping novel that leaves you craving for more. But before we part ways, I must implore you once again to lend us your virtual applause, a like, a subscribe, a share, and a comment to fuel the fire of our storytelling. Until next time, dear viewers, keep your legal hats on and your curiosity burning bright. This is Bite-Sized Politics signing off.